what an amazing concept. I can't stress enough. If you go to valuecard.com, you can tell I don't officially represent it because I actually don't have it memorized in my head. But to Google Value Card Alliance, and it's headquartered in Phoenix, Arizona, and they just do a phenomenal job. They have great service, and they will market your company. You don't have to pay them. They market your company to the other 3,000 business owners, and there's a couple of what they call business brokers, and those business brokers will sell on your behalf your services to the other members of the group, and they'll do it in 2 or 3 ways. And this is actually one of the ways that the Wasabi Room Sushi Bar decided to start marketing their business. And so I told them that this is a marketing show. We're going to be talking about some of the ways that their business is going to get marketed. And so the first, let's say that you're brand new to the Value Card Alliance, just like the Wasabi Room Sushi Bar is with Jose here with us. We have their application. We will turn their application in that he filled out to Value Card Alliance. They will then put it into the system. The best way to understand what the system is Value Card Alliance acts as a local bank. They keep track of all the trade credits. So, for example, the person that I took to eat at the restaurant, at the Wasabi Room Sushi Bar with me today, he was vaguely familiar with the idea of barter and trade. And he said, okay, for example, my uncle is a dentist, but it doesn't always work out because the dentist comes, somebody comes into the dentist and says, I can't pay, but I really need my tooth fixed. And the dentist says, what do you do? It's a mechanic. And the dentist says, well, I have a, 200,000 mile warranty on my 2014 Lexus or Mercedes, and I really am going to take it to the dealership. I'm not sure if I'm going to use what you have. And I said, you know what? Let's take it back to the caveman days. That everybody used to barter and trade without money. And it was a problem. If you came with some carved arrowhead-looking rocks and some sticks and then a bow-looking thing that wasn't complete, so it would be what today we would call an assemble-yourself bow and arrow kit, right? So you have this thing that you say, hey, you point at that chicken and you say, I want to trade these sticks and rocks for your chicken. And so you have to make that decision if that is something that could really turn into a real working bow and arrow when you assemble the kit. And maybe it works, maybe it doesn't. And so the question is in direct trading, do you have to get tons of people involved to be able to manage the puzzle pieces to be able to get something that works. So what ends up happening so often in direct trade is that dentist continues to be owed $2,000 worth of mechanic work for the next 10 years, and he might have to give it as a Christmas gift to his up-and-coming niece who had her transmission drop out. But the point is that bypass all that. If you can actually have a central organization that keeps track of all the credits, now instead of trying to do direct trade, you actually pay 10%. I don't want to speak on behalf of Value Card Alliance, but it will range somewhere around 10% of a fee that they charge every time you do a transaction. So not bad to have somebody broker you, pay to market you, do emails for you, and have a full-time salesperson to sell your business to the other 3,000 members, and growing, by the way. It's now 3,001. So the point is that they're going to do all of that work, and all they're going to ask for is to be paid on commission, and they don't get paid unless they get you results. So that's what I love about Value Card Alliance. Is that they don't get paid unless you get paid, and you get paid 90% of it, and they keep 10%. But I do need to share one more semi-complicated concept about Value Card, is that what is the definition of declaring loyalty? Is loyalty really just something like the Founding Fathers and the Tea Party that said, we declared that we're going to go dump all the tea into the Boston Harbor, and if we get killed, so be it? Is that the loyalty we're talking about? Or is there another way to develop loyalty? What the Value Card Alliance has to develop loyalty is that instead of paying each other in dollars, you're paid in dollar equivalents, credits that are represented by their own currency, which is called scrip, value card scrip. So now the thing that's important to understand is this is identified by the IRS as real money. That's important for two reasons. One is to know that it's legal, and two is to know you don't evade taxes. This is not a cool way to evade taxes. If this were a cool way to evade taxes legally, I think the entire United States would be on it. I mean, wouldn't you? So it's not as cool as all that. You still got to pay your taxes, all right? But that also means it's validated, and it also means that you need to report it. So it will be reported on a 1099. So the Value Card Alliance will actually send a 1099 to you at the end of the year, and you need to include that in your taxes. So don't forget. So okay, so that's the way Value Card Alliance works. All they do is charge somewhere around 10%, depending on your industry and the things that you do and the services they provide for you. But for the most part, it's 10%. And most often it's when you spend your money. Sometimes it's 5% when you accept it, and 5% when you pay it out. But however it is, it's about 10%. Now let's compare that to Groupon and Living Social. Groupon says if I'm going to send somebody to your restaurant, you need to discount your food or your services in the store or whatever it is by 50%, and then we're going to take 50% of that 50%, and really it's more like 52 or 53% by the time they get done with you, because you have to pay the credit card and merchant service fees. Okay, so really you're keeping about 47%, they're keeping about 53%, while really they're keeping 50, but you have to pay the 3%. All that matters is you're only keeping 47% of the 50%. So that means you're down to about 22%, which is about $2.20 out of every $10 that you normally would make when somebody comes to your restaurant. So if you haven't gathered, and then you have to wait 3 months to receive your money back, your reimbursement back, because they collect the entire money. So I literally have seen restaurants that have been knocked out of business by the Groupon model. Yeah, not very fun, not a cool idea. Groupon was, roared into existence and became a brand name. So I'm not saying it doesn't function and it doesn't have a certain value in its own way, but be careful. Treat it like pharmaceutical medicine that, if taken wrong, can kill you. And I've literally seen restaurants be put out of business by Groupon and Living Social. So not something that I would recommend. Value Card Alliance, something that's pretty good. Now, Jose had a really good question. He said, what if I get too much business? Now, what an amazing idea. How many people could wish that they get too much business? So if he gets too much business, he does have the ability to limit inside a Value Card the amount of business that he gets. And so he's actually congratulations that the Wasabi Room Sushi Bar is the newest member of the Value Card Alliance. And so anybody who is listening to the show who is also on Value Card Alliance, I would also invite you to go down to 5234 North 27th Avenue, introduce yourself to Jose and Jose.
Yes,
they will, if you are like me and a little bit uneducated about sushi, then they'll educate you and help you find the best thing for your taste. And actually, make sure you stay tuned, because in one of our upcoming segments, we're going to talk about a little bit about education of sushi and the different categories, since I've been newly educated into this. And I've realized why I thought I didn't like sushi. There's just certain types of sushi I don't like, certain types that I do, and that has to be prepared well, and the ones that I do, and then I love it. It's like saying I hate apples, but every time I ate an apple, it was a rotten apple. That's not really fair, is it? So if you go to the very best pristine apples, then you're going to love apples, and that is why you should go to the Wasabi Room Sushi Bar, again located at 5234 North 27th Avenue in Phoenix, Arizona. And you can also reach them if you wanted to call, find out their hours. And there's many fun things to do that we're going to be talking about later. Salsa, dance lessons, things like that are a lot of fun. 602-361-9296. This is Kurt Wilhelm, your host of the Social Universe here on World Talk Radio and Voice America. Thanks for tuning into the show, and don't go away. When we come back, we're going to be talking about how we stumbled across the Wasabi Room and how you can make sure that the stumbling happens more often than it does. Don't go away. We'll be right back.